What is up, guys? My name is BobaTalks and welcome back to a brand new Gotham Season 4 video. Now, this is I think it's my second Gotham Season 4 Q&A. I basically posted a post on the community section of my YouTube channel asking for questions from you guys, and you guys have posted plenty of questions, so be sure to watch the whole of this video if you want to see if your question has been answered. But bear in mind, there are quite a few comments, so I can't answer every single one of them, so I'm sorry about if I didn't answer your question, but I will be sure to do more Q&As in the future, just like this, dedicated Q&As where I basically answer your questions, because that's what a Q&A is. But before I start this Q&A, guys, if you go on to enjoy this video, then be sure to like the video, and if you're new to this channel, why not subscribe for more videos just like this, because they will be coming out. And if you subscribe, you'll be able to see them. So that's awesome. So the first question, and I apologize, my phone's dead, so I'm going to have to look at my screen, which is over there, is from Caesar's Legion. And he asks, a question I would like to ask you is, if you were to bring in a new villain to the show, who would it be and how would you introduce them? Hopefully you could answer this question in the video. Also, I watch and like all of your vids. Keep up the amazing work. Well, thank you very much for your kind words, Caesar's Legion. And as for your question, which villain would I bring in, a new villain to the show? How would I introduce them? I've always said I would really like Harvey Dent to come back. Now, obviously Harvey Dent isn't like a villain at the minute, but I really feel like with Gotham's change and the way they do things in the show and how they have kind of given sort of new origins to some of the existing villains, or a little bit of a different take. For example, Mr. Freeze, his wife died, so that was very shocking. I feel like they could make Harvey Dent's transition into Two-Face a lot earlier than, the traditional Bruce becomes friends with him and then, just basically falling down a little bit when Bruce is older. I feel like we could witness the fall of Harvey Dent in Gotham Season 5, Season 6, for example. I reckon that would be really, really cool. We've already been teased with the coin, a little bit of his temper tantrums. It wasn't full-blown, but there was some tense moments where you saw like that, second personality kind of coming out. But that's mainly, I don't really know of properly any other villains that I can think of right now. A lot of people ask me about Bane and stuff, and I'm just like, I don't know if that would work for me personally. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. I would like to see that Harvey Dent actor, but I think he's busy at the minute, come into the show over the course of Season 5, be kind of the villain, I guess, transitioning. That would be awesome. Apart from that, there are villains like the Ventriloquist, which are rumored to be coming, which Danny Cannon, one of the directors, I believe, or executive producers, I think he's the director, really wants to happen. So I'm sure it actually might even happen in the second half of Season 4. So commenter asks, how many more seasons do you think the show will last for? Now, I've answered this I normally do like an annual video saying, will Gotham get Season 3 or Season 4, or now in this case, Season 5? I don't really properly know. I don't think anyone truly knows the answer, but through the vibes and just the research and just the way things are going and behind the scenes, how I kind of know how they think. They don't even really know if they're getting another season kind of thing. I don't think anyone truly knows until you know. And I've always said I don't think Gotham will go on for several or 8 seasons at all. I just don't feel like it will do that. And a lot of people who don't understand this at all and just love the show have blindly commented before, why would this show get cancelled? Well, you're a effing idiot. You don't really know anything. This show is amazing. It's got so many viewers. It's going to get several seasons. It's like, no, just because you love a show doesn't mean it won't get cancelled. That happens all the time. Look at like shows like Constantine. I love that show. It had lots of like diehard fans into it. However, got cancelled. Now with Gotham, for Season 4, it got renewed last minute, and I mean last minute. And I feel like they're doing a similar kind of play in terms of what they did with Season 3, sorry. It was kind of a bit, I thought like the beginning of Season 3 wasn't that great at all for me personally, Mad Hatter, etc., Tetch Virus, but they really brought it back with the Jerome storyline and into the back half of Season 3. With Season 4, I think it's been much more solid than Season 3. However, they are doing the same thing, just in case. I feel they want to end it in an explosive cliffhanger. This has been said by the executive producers themselves. And they're going to do that because they want people to want more. Like for Season 5, they want to know what happens in Season 5. So I think that's going to be a mix of Jerome and the villains team up. So I think, and this is a long-winded answer, but you guys know me, I babble on. I think we are going to get Season 5 with, I think we will. But for Season 6, that's anyone's guess. But I feel like Gotham, in my opinion, my honest opinion, is one of those shows where it probably could get cancelled, but might get renewed every single year. Like, at the minute, that's the way it's going. So I hope that answers your question. I'm going to shut up now. So Jen Chavez, or Chavis, I can't say the name, I'm sorry, asked, what common enemy will unite the villains? So I'm guessing you're referring to the second half of Season 4, where there's this rumored big villains team up. Well, it's not rumored, it's actually going to happen. And that's, I don't know, I hope I'm answering your question correctly. It's going to be Jerome Valeska, or potentially Penguin together. Is going to be like the guy in the middle orchestrating Mr. Freeze, everyone like that you can think of, the Riddler. They're all going to come together. Now, as to what the storyline's going to be with that, I don't know. It could be like a warfare with the GCPD, or just generally causing chaos. Jerome at the helm will probably have something to do with the whole chaos and anarchy side of it. Penguin's going to kind of utilize all of this, I'm guessing, to get and attain his control in Gotham again. But I guess that answers your question. Jerome/Penguin is going to be the one to, sprout this massive plant of, this is such a weird analogy, of loads of villains, but they're right at the stem of it. Jay Turner asks, do you think that Jerome not being the Joker would be stupid? Yes, 100%, billion% stupid. However, not going to go into it properly. Jerome Valeska might not be the Joker, but that doesn't mean that Cameron Monaghan isn't playing the Joker. Now, if you don't get that, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to explain it again, because I've explained it enough times. But I will be, just in brackets, doing a video on some of the leaked kind of scenes that people have been taking video footage of. However, I will make that very, very spoilery aware. So do not watch it if you do not want to be spoiled. And I don't always want to necessarily dig into all that stuff, but there's been some kind of stuff that has raised a lot of people's attentions, and I kind of want to talk about it because a lot of people are freaking out about it. But if you want to know what I'm on about, stay tuned to the channel over the next couple of days. Chen Chavez asked a really cool question again. Do you have any hope for a more developed Freeze story? I do have hope for that, or it's more like I want that, because the thing about this show, but I also respect, because you have to think about what the director's doing or the writer's doing. You have like an hour slot on TV. You can only fit so much stuff in. Yes, you have 22 episodes, but you have all these things going on. So when I say my problem with villains, or like, characters like Victor Zsasz and Mr. Freeze are they are kind of used for tools on the show. They don't have proper character development. I don't really count Victor Zsasz this season as character development, because it's not really him. He's just had a few more lines to say. That's not his character development, if you know what I mean. So basically what I'm trying to say is, like, Penguin's like, oh, Victor, go freeze Riddler over there. Oh, Victor Zsasz, go shoot this guy. They're used as plot devices. They're not. That's what bothers me. So yes, of course I have hope for more of a personalized storyline for Mr. Freeze and, people like Victor Zsasz and other villains like that. However, I just don't know if we're going to get it, because things like that require a couple of episodes at least, or maybe 3 tops. So think about characters like Mad Hatter. They had development. That's awesome. Personally, I didn't like it so much, but they gave that character what we're talking about right here. So yeah, I would love that for Mr. Freeze. However, like, his wife is dead, so I don't know what's going on there. He doesn't have much of a purpose apart from being a tool, so maybe that's why they've used him as a tool. But yeah, I don't really know what more to say, but yes, I do have hope. But God knows what they're going to do, because that was a big change for Mr. Freeze's character. Unless I'm remembering something incorrectly, like, did his wife not die? But I'm pretty sure she did. But it's been a long time since I saw that episode, so yeah. Joe Bell Porter asks, yay, another Q&A. Do you think that Raish or Rayesh Al Ghul will be back? If so, how? Or yeah, if so, how? Yes, he is coming back 100%. Ra's al Ghul is coming back. Alexander Siddig will still be playing him. As to how he comes back, anyone's guess. Could be the whole Barbara Murgy thing. I think it's definitely got something to do with that, especially, the teaser from the trailer where Ra's is walking in, and this is Barbara right here, and she's like, ah! And Ra's is just like walking, towards Barbara. So yeah, like, I think I've already explained my little theory behind how he might be coming back. But ultimately, yes, I think they've already revealed a couple of things, like Bruce is going to be kind of training with Ra's, believe it or not. As to how that's going to unfold is going to be very interesting. Could it be because Alfred is still out in the wind, and I think there's going to be kind of a little battle between the fatherly figures. You got Jim a little bit, believe it or not, as a fatherly figure, but mainly Alfred. But then you've got Ra's al Ghul. But this is me, Babylon. Short answer to your question: yes, Ra's al Ghul is coming back, and it's going to be very, very cool. But it's also going to be very, very cold. It's not going to be what you expect between Bruce and Ra's. It's going to be very much so air-like for him. He wants Bruce, but Bruce is going to be kind of using him for other reasons. And it's going to be interesting to see that. So, yes, he's coming back. Shawnee Sosa 08 asks, do you think that Grundy will get his mind back? Yes and no. I think that Grundy is going to, they've changed Butch into Grundy, so that's not going to be reversed. If that did happen, that would be goddamn stupid. But no, I can very confidently say they wouldn't do that. Like, he is the established Grundy now. He is the Grundy of the Batman universe forever until he dies, until Batman's out there kicking his ass. However, they've introduced a really cool thing. Because they started off with Butch Gilzine, and transformed him into Grundy, they've given Grundy something a little bit more interesting than you could arguably say than what he traditionally has. They're going to give him a bit more of relatableness, I suppose, because, you have this character before who was in love with Tabby, who had, a lot more personality to him than the guy who just goes, Grundy kill, or something like that, So that's going to be very interesting. I really like that. I'm really looking forward to see how that plays out, because Butch, I really liked him as a character. I did admit that they weren't really doing much with his character and what more could really be done, so I'm glad they changed him into Grundy. But yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, Grundy's gotta kind of get his mind back, but I don't think completely. I think it's gonna be a bit sort of like amnesia. But yeah, I think it's gonna kind of eventually pan out to be half and half. He's gonna be half Grundy, half Butch all the time, rather than just occasionally being like Tabby. You know what I mean. And Mr. Slanty Face also asked, what direction do you think they're going with Grundy and Butch? I believe I just answered that. So there you go. Commenter asked another question, which I'm just going to answer really quickly. What do you think about the constant recast of the Poison Ivy role? Just to any of you who are wondering about my opinion on that and as to why they've done it 2 or 3 times, and everything like that. I've done a specific video on it called The Poison Ivy Paradox in Gotham. Watch that. It should be popping up around here. Look for that thumbnail, or I'll leave the link in the description below. I'm quite proud of that video, so go check it out. Ross Steven asks, where will they go with Sophia? I think they're going to keep Sophia around a little bit longer, not to the end of the season, because personally, I don't think I would like that. I don't know if I'm getting a bit tired of her character or not. It's more like I want them to move past her in the next 4 or 5 episodes. I think that she might be killed off. However, Gotham do have this whole thing with villains dying and then coming back, or any character dying and coming back, which I do think is one of their biggest weaknesses. It makes death meaningless. So they shouldn't do that all the time, and they haven't done it in a little while. Mind you, they did do Grundy, but that was kind of necessary. However, if they kill Sophia, there's a chance she could come back. And I also think that killing the last kind of Falcone, unless there's another, secret baby Falcone out there, would be quite final, if you know what I mean. Because that would mean there's no more Falcones in the Batman universe, and Bruce isn't even Batman yet. And Falcone has plenty of things to play traditionally in lots of stories, with Bruce being Bruce Wayne into the future and Batman. So yeah, I think they might kill her, but at the same time they might not, because, as I just said, she's the last Falcone, and surely that's got to be a future storyline or two in the future, the far, far, far future. So yes, I think they're going to get rid of her around episode 15, 16, 17 or something like that. And then we're going to move on to the more important story where Penguin might have got back his control, because the villains are teaming up, like Jerome, Mr. Freeze, Penguin, Riddler, God knows, you name it. So yeah, that's where I think they're going with Sophia Falcone. Sorry about the blurry face that just happened there. I need to sort my camera out. It's got the autofocus on right now, so it keeps focusing on everything in the background, then my face. I need to get the manual focus on, but I hate doing that. Chris Huncho asks, what's up, Bobo? What's up, Chris? What all powers do you think Ivy will have? Well, we do know one of them is that she can literally just scratch you, and then all of a sudden plants are coming out of every orifice in your body, which is very unpleasant. So I think, yeah, she's going to have some traditional Poison Ivy powers. I don't think she's going to be extremely powerful, because that would be so OP. She could literally click her fingers, plants would go up everywhere. I think she might have a little ability to that, but I would like some kind of drawback from that. Like, it might be energy draining or something. Otherwise, yeah, as I just said, she'd be so overpowered. I think she will have the kind of instead of obviously before with Maggie Gare, she relied on kind of fragrances and stuff like that to trick people, like that shopkeeper and the other men and stuff, like to do her bidding or be seduced by her. I think that stuff will now, instead of be fragrances, is just going to be her actual body aroma, or like just her saliva on her lips or something when she kisses people. So just like the trailers have been teasing, but it could have been cut differently, so that this might not be the way Bruce gets his vision. But when we saw Ivy kiss Bruce, I think that was, potentially one of Ivy's, high, trippy, druggy kind of effects that Bruce is going through, but just for a kiss. Kind of, like we saw in the previous Batman films, like the 90s films, where Ivy kisses Robin, just stuff like that. But I wouldn't expect mega powers, like we see in the video games or the comics, where she can literally, like, get a load of plants and then start effing people over. I think it's going to be kind of subtle. But yeah, she's definitely going to have really cool metahuman powers. She's going to have people under influence just within a click of a finger. Or should I say a kiss on the cheek, well, on the lips. But yeah, that's what I think. Amazing Sunsman asks, if Jerome isn't the Joker, God forbid that, how do you think the actual Joker will come to life? Now, this is hard to answer because I think that Jerome, well, not necessarily the name Jerome Valeska, but Cameron Monaghan. Well, no, this is the difficult thing. It's kind of paradoxy in my head. So, if Jerome isn't a Joker, which could actually be the case, so Jerome Valeska might not be the Joker, then how could the actual Joker come to life? Well, it could be either like the clone theory, where it's still Cameron Monaghan playing him, and you have, his same mannerism. Technically, they kind of, I think the executive producers did write off that bus metahuman scene at the end of season 2, but we saw that kind of Cameron Monaghan-y, Jerome Jokery person walk out. That clone, for example, would have the same personality, the same genetics, the same psychology, the madness. That would automatically be there. Might have seen Jerome, the actual Jerome we've been seeing out there. So that's the kind of inspiration thing. And then this guy goes along and technically he's not Jerome Valeska. He is just the Joker. Now, that is kind of, I don't like that, but I do like that storyline. Wouldn't you just rather that freaking Jerome was the Joker? However, so that's one way they could do it. The other way they could do it is actually an inspiration story, which would be goddamn stupid. It just would. Everyone knows it. I can say that with absolutely no shame. It is a stupid thing to do. Whether they give it to someone else, like the kid who picked up the Red Hood, and he's inspired. Goddamn stupid. I really hope they wouldn't do that. Stupid. But at the same time, you could just have Jerome Valeska, our Jerome it could be our very Jerome being the Joker. So for example, his name was never Jerome. He could have, a series going around that he stole the alias or identity of Jerome, and who is this guy underneath? Technically, he has no identity if you take away, or if you realize that he was never Jerome. So then he's a John Doe. He's the Joker. There's stuff like that. A billion other theories. I really hope Gotham, Davi Mazouz and other people, of course they would say this, but have said that the birth of the Joker that's going to happen in season 4, right towards the tail end, is one of, if not the best thing that Gotham has ever done. So I think these are the different ways that the Joker could come to life if it wasn't Jerome. But, I kind of answered if it still was Jerome. But if it was another actual person, coming to life rather than the actual Jerome Joker, I just can't think of any other ways, because that's just so goddamn stupid, isn't it? It's just... Okay, so the last question is from Jay, the Rich Kid TV. Do you think that characters would get their classic looks from the comics? For example, Jim Gordon's mustache, the Penguin's glass eye, and the Riddler's question mark Kane. Possibly. The thing I like about Gotham is, and I've said this so many times, and I don't need to always repeat it because I think a lot of you do get it. But Gotham do things differently, and so do other things. For example, Batman the Telltale series. Some people don't like this Penguin, but for example, he was similar to Robin Lord Taylor's Penguin, like a skinny guy. He doesn't have to be like a fat little guy like this, and with a massive long nose. like that. You can still have that character be a different kind of person, like Robin Lord Taylor, but with still traditional Penguin-like things. So he hobbles with his walk. He's kind of got a little bit of a cane, or like the Penguin suit. We've been teased with the top hat in the season 4 trailer. So yeah, I think some things will come in the future. Like you just asked, do I think there's going to be more classical looks? Of course, I could definitely imagine Corey Michael Smith's Riddler getting the Riddler cane. Not in a cheesy, freaking, my mind's gone blank. A freaking Jim Carrey way. Sorry, my mind just went blank there. But, you know, not like that, but they could make an amazing cane, like a gold-plated question mark up there with a nice black body or something like that for the cane. I can imagine stuff like that since Riddler has already had his green suit. So yeah, of course. I don't know about things like the Penguin getting a freaking like bottle glass bit for his eye. I think that is really cool in the comics, but man, doing that makeup every day in Gotham would just not be realistic. So I think there's going to be some realistic things coming, like maybe the Riddler cane. If we get enough seasons, I can imagine that easily becoming one of the things we get. But also Penguin's top hat, for example, kind of like the Riddler's top hat. And Jim Gordon's mustache is an interesting one. I feel like our Jim Gordon, Ben McKenzie, is a bit younger than what I think he should be. Maybe he isn't, maybe he is. Maybe he's just aging good. But, you know, let's say Bruce, maybe it isn't. But I don't think we're ever going to get enough seasons, potentially, until we see Jim Gordon's mustache. Because I kind of see that happening when Bruce is like 22 or 21 or 20 or something like that. When he is much more involved in his vigilante career. Might have traveled around the bits of the world, learning different martial arts or whatever, and learning different things that make him become the Batman. That's when I can imagine Jim's getting a bit older, into his 40s and stuff, starts growing a mustache. Rather than, like, at the minute, he's like 16 on the show. I can't imagine him right now. He's still kind of young. Yes, he's captain now, but he was only like a detective before that. So even when Bruce is 17, 18, 19, I can't imagine Ben McKenzie's Gordon getting a mustache. But at the same time, they could do it. But in the Gotham universe, let's say even if we didn't get enough seasons and the seasons did, you know, we imagined they kept going on, for sure. Like, I can imagine Jim Gordon, when Batman is out there, David Mazouz's Batman, will, like, definitely sport a mustache into his later years in life. But will we see that on the show? I think that'd be cool. But I don't know if Ben McKenzie would rock it. Like, do you guys think he would? I don't know. I really don't know. But other than that, guys, that has been this Gotham Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be doing another one, maybe when the shows come back. Maybe after the first episode, I can do another Q&A. Maybe I can do weekly Q&As. Let me know some ideas from you guys in the comments below. I always appreciate your ideas. I do read every single comment. Like, I literally do read every single one. I just can't reply to them all because I know some of you guys know about my hand injury, so I'm literally barely not typing at the minute. So don't worry, I do read them. I love most of them. You know, the little love thingy, my Bobby thing. If it's an awesome comment, I'll love it. But apart from that, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button, as it really does show your support for the channel and shows me that you like this video. If you're new to this channel, why not subscribe for more videos just like this? You can stay a little bit more up to date with me personally if you want to by following me on Twitter and any social media. The links will be popping up around here. I want to thank every single one of my patrons. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for that support. You've gone the extra mile. And if you're interested in becoming a patron of mine, the link to that will be in the description below, and you can check out some of the tiers, and hopefully you might like those. And it's just a way to support the channel an extra mile, but you know, do not feel obligated to do so. But apart from that, guys, I have said everything. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.